All right, so I told you guys I caught a reversal pattern a few days ago in Rivian, which was pretty cool, right? Stock is up over 85%. I made a ton of money that day. That was great. Still am making a lot of money in Rivian. Rivian is a great stock right now for me. I caught it right at the turnaround story, put together the fundamental analysis with my technical analysis, and voila, we caught Rivian. Let's look at it just to give you an idea of what I showed you in previous videos. So I identified that Rivian was going to turn around right somewhere around this 1350 area. Okay. That's down here below. 1350 area was my more or less where I started playing it. And the stock doubled, It gave me a lot of trouble, like this day right here where it broke out and it came back in all the way down till 1472. Gave me a lot more trouble on this day. Stock broke out again and then came all the way down to 1350, but I stuck with it and it paid off. And I did it because the whole Tesla story. Now I'm the kind of person who I'm really good at technical analysis, but I do research on fundamental analysis as well. You have to in order to be able to know what to trade. So the Tesla story has been insane, and Rivian was a stock I was looking at below. Now, don't get me wrong, I watch every single stock in the sector, and I kind of figure out where to get them and which ones are working, which ones are making money, which ones are not. And I dig deep into it as much as I could, reading their earnings reports and doing what I got to do. So I caught Rivian. It was a beautiful trade, right? But here's what we have now, and I've been talking about Xpev and Nio. Okay, I've been talking about these stocks, and this stock broke out at around we had around $13, right? Stock broke out around $13, and that's when I was like a bit of shock how fast it happened. It was just like a gap up day, which kind of caught me by surprise. So I jumped in with some calls because I didn't a little bit of stock, but mostly calls because I knew it was just a big risk. And I hate risk. My calls ended up in the money. So I ended up having some calls in the money, profit on them. I kept the stock. I took delivery on the stock, kept the stock, took some profit on it. And then this is what I ended up with 1550, 1650, and 17. So what happened was yesterday, XPV broke out of this 1550 range, as you could see that right there, right? Broke out, opened up the day, it went up all the way up to 1650. The next day it opened up, it was like 1675, I call, and it just came all the way down in to a nice area of support. I loaded up the boat a bit much, but I ended up being down on the day, so I got rid of half my position. Don't ask me why. And I come in today and the stock is just booming, right? Pre-market, I started taking some profit at 1775, $18, and it just keeps going, going, going. I'm looking at my resistance levels, and there's no resistance until $22. So, I took money along the way. Now the stock is up about 27%. This was a beautiful, great day. For me, that's just today I made about 10,000 and an account that's got about 70,000. It's like 13%, for today on a swing trade. I didn't even go too crazy. I just had enough money to make $10,000. Which I used almost all my buying power in cash. I didn't even use margin. Okay, so not I used it in other stocks also, but in XPV, I had about 3,000 shares in all if you count it with the options, right? Every one option would count for 100 shares. So that was an amazing trade, and I want to see continuation here. So I'm keeping about 40% of this because I believe that today was a short squeeze. In a way, that's what I identified. with my block trades. I counted the blocks to see what's going on here. Volume was 132 million shares so far. We still have an hour left to go in the day. So that's pretty nice as well. So XPV, that's what I'm looking at. This thing to go back up to 22, holding it. But let me take you through some things that haven't played out yet. So Neo has played out, okay, but it looks like it could go much higher. But you got to be really careful with these stocks, obviously, okay, because these are danger stocks. They could turn on a dime. These companies are not making money yet. It's just their growth story is, turning around. They're able to borrow money at a discount from their par value of the stock where the stock is trading. We saw that with Lucid, but look at Neo in a weekly graph. You see that this is all resistance level, and the stock came up from like $11 was resistance, and it came up from there. If you look at it on a daily graph, right? See that $11 area was a resistance. We broke that. We pulled in a little bit and just took off. I believe that we could reach this $14 area in a way, but this is dangerous zone. I call this the danger zone. You can't get in now. It's a bit too late. If you do get in, I just take some calls to lower the risk, and then if you're in the money, you'll take that, and you'll figure out how to play it out. So that's on the Neo front. But if Neo does take out this 1450 area, the next level is somewhere around the $17 area. Okay. But let's look at a stock that I liked, that I saw something play out today, and that's my next play. It's Pulsar. Okay. Pulsar, I read about it, checked it out. The problem is they don't have much money. They got about 600 and something million dollars for a car company. It's a joke, right? So I'm a bit worried here, but look at what I saw in Pulsar. Okay. Same thing, right? We're looking at the same thing as we did in Rivian in a way. And in XRP, it pulled out, right? We had this pull out last month. I was on vacation, beginning of July, and it went to $5. We're coming back into $4. Now, we're going to see how the numbers come out. The earnings are within the next 2 weeks, I think. So this is the pull-in. This is where I'm starting to, I usually start taking my risk, start adding to my position, because the resistance is supposed to turn now into a support. Not supposed to. They're going to do it. If they don't do it, I got to get out of my position. Ideally, I would like to see this stock somewhere around the 1380, 1375 area. And just hope that this market continues. 1370 would be ideal to get the stock, because then I know at least I got an upward sloping trend line that I can that's supporting me. And I like to get some good fundamental news on it. But that's the next play that I see. Where can this thing go to? Well, it was $5 last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And it was, you want to see the all-time stock, I think came out 1375. This thing has not been around too long. Okay. 1350 came out in 21, I see. So, what did bother me? Yeah, here we go. What did bother me? Check this out. We're pretty much at resistance levels, right? So you gotta take that into consideration. We broke out, we're coming back in. This could be a turnaround. This resistance level is the scary zone. So this is where you need to decide, am I taking risk or am I not taking risk? Am I taking risk or not taking risk? So I'm going to average down as much as I could till about 1370. Hope to end up with a good position in the stock. And let's see what happens with this one. Another one that I liked was Fisker, right? FSR. Fisker doesn't look as good. Why not? Why doesn't Fisker look as good? Well, here's all time. You're looking at $32. Thing came out like somewhere around $10. The The downward sloping trend line hasn't even been breached. I mean, it has been breached, but it's always with these crazy wicks, which are showing us that it's not real. These up moves are not real like they were here, right? See that? That was a wick, but it continued to the upside. We continued. We had something, and it's a very volatile stock. These wicks prove to us that it's a volatile stock, right? Today there was a move in it. I didn't like it at all. So this is dangerous. I would be looking at this thing at I think it was $5. I'm looking for it to pull into $5, more or less, 5.25. Let's see where this upward sloping trend line is going to end up at around $5. Yeah, that's what I said. So I see some sort of a tunnel here, and we're going to see how that. I'm going to play the tunnel, right? I'm going to play it from $5 to whatever I could. I saw something that bothered me today in FSR. Check this out. This is a 60-minute chart, right? Yep. Everything went up today, XPV, Rivian, and so on and so on. Everything's going up. So that's a reason for FSR to go up. And you know what? The stock it came all the way up and just went right back down. Came up to resistance, went back down. These things should bother us when we see them happening. We want to see a resistance break to the upside. That's also a stock that I got on my list. Now, I went through all of them, okay? Now, you could tell me, oh, we're reading about this on Reddit and that on Reddit, and I got the list here, guys. Believe it or not, I do my research, right? There's like every EV auto company you could think of. And I went through them, okay? Nikola looks pretty good to me. It's up. I know I took it as a day trade. It didn't work out, and I got out. These companies are not making money, and I'll give you an example. I had this company, which was kind of in a way got me in. What was it? Hold up. I got it here on my phone. MULN. Okay, here's a perfect example. MULN, right? So I looked at this thing and I saw a pop. I was like, okay, these small, tiny companies, I could afford this stuff. Let me get in there, right? So I'm getting in there on weekly. It broke, you see right here, broke the weekly high at 20 cents, right? And I'm getting in the stock and I'm making a little bit of money. It's going up to 30 cents. And lo and behold, the thing just comes right back in while Tesla continues to go up. The whole sector is going. It's about the companies that are making money, the companies that have money, or at least have a turnaround story that they're going to be making money soon. But companies that are losing money, such as, Mullen Automotive, and there are 20 other ones in there. I tried it on an intraday basis. It doesn't work. The market makers are killing these things. They're going to use you as chicken bait. They're going to use your money to make money on shorts, because these companies might even go bankrupt. I think a company went bankrupt like last month. I don't remember what it was, which one it was. But so you got to keep an eye on these things, okay, how they play out. So FSR could be a turnaround story, but we need fundamentals. You need to pay attention to what's going on with the company, with their earnings and their announcements, and how many cars are producing, how many cars are selling. And it's got to be, and are they able to borrow money? Are they getting at a discount? Are they getting at a premium, and so on? These things are important. But on top of all that, I don't think Nio, I don't think Lucid, I don't think XR, what we call them, trading all day, XPV. They fundamentally, they're not a buy, but on the technical side, they're a buy, and they got a story going on in the last few months that, finally people are buying EVs, and everyone's out there with their, more and more cars are in charging stations, and the news is there. So let's see what this could be built up into, but you got to watch out which companies you're buying, which ones you're not. There you go. This is how you make money on what I call swing trading. This is a whole sector. You take the sector, you got to crunch the numbers, you got to crunch your technical analysis, and boom, boom. you're able to make some money. If you guys want to learn how to do this, you can join me in my course. I'll be more than happy to assist you. Have an amazing day.